Greetings, viewers, and welcome to another Sleight of Hand review. Today we're looking at Studio Series Transformers number 70, Buzzworthy Bumblebee, B-127. That's a bit of a mouthful. This is a repaint of the Cybertron Bumblebee from the movie Bumblebee. But it's a better paint. It's a shinier, glossier, more goldish paint, and they gave us his unmasked head in there. And it's part of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line, which is exclusive to Target stores, and that is where I found this guy. I was lucky enough to find him on the shelf. They had a lot of the Origin Bumblebee, which I'll show in a minute. Well, for size comparisons. That figure, I remember when it first came out, was so hard to find, especially where I'm living. And I had to drive, I don't know, it was like 50 miles out of my way to get one, because stores around me just weren't getting it, and I wasn't finding it. Now they're everywhere. So I guess it goes to show you that it's hit and miss out there. If you don't see this guy right away, he'll probably make his way to your store eventually. I wouldn't pay crazy prices for these. I think Target will be getting these in pretty good quantities, but anyway. Studio Series Buzzworthy box. There's a few others like this. They're going to do a cup. They're going to do a cliff jumper. But this one says, as Decepticons take Cybertron, B-127 is sent on a mission to establish a base on a well-hidden planet called Earth. And this is his Cybertronian mode. And this is his robot mode. So yeah, that's the box. Nothing too spectacular. I do like that there's a window. You can see almost everything. Actually, you can see everything that's inside there. So let's get him out of the box and see what's so buzzworthy about Bumblebee here. All right, here we have Buzzworthy Bumblebee out of his box and in his display base. They are still including these. They're a thing. I don't use them really. I know a few came with the Studio Series 86 figures that they were from the movie, so they were kind of a neat way of getting backdrops from the Transformers movie in 1986. But the more recent movies, they're kind of give or take if you want the backdrops. So it's really up to you. But here is Bumblebee, and I did own the original Studio Series Volkswagen Bumblebee, which I think this is a retool of, pretty much. And then I had the Cliff Jumper, but I let a lot of those figures go because I just wasn't really into the movie figures at all. I am going to get these Cybertronian figures because I do like the Cybertronian modes, and I might try and go back and get Cliff Jumper, but I'll get B, I'll get Wheeljack, Arcee, Brawn, Ratchet, Ironhide. I have Optimus Prime already. You know, it's just a whole thing. So let's take a quick look at his face here. And that is a pretty nice head sculpt. The eyes are painted very vibrantly in there. Yeah, not bad. And the whole figure does seem to be, I don't know if, no, I wouldn't say this is all paint. Some of this does look like flat plastic. Some of it looks like paint. I can't quite tell. The silver's definitely, that's paint, but the gold color, I don't know. It is a rich color. It's very caramely. But not as brown. It's just starting to edge towards that. But, yep. And here is his only accessory, which is his blaster. It's an arm cannon. And that's about it for that. So, let's really quickly move into articulation. His head is on a hinge and a swivel. It does move up for transformation, but that you can see, it's not really. There's a ball joint in there. So you can get left to right, you really can't get too much of a quizzical look because there's a neck in there that's preventing it. But you can get an up with any number of hinges here and a bit of a down. His arms do go all the way out to the side, all the way around, but they will hit that wheel back there. And his elbows, pretty deep. Greater than 90 degrees, just. He does have a bicep swivel. And nothing in the wrists at all. His hands are molded in there, so that's unfortunate. He does have a waist twist. It's a little limited by his backpack, but you can get left to right. There's no crunch forward. You might be able to rework some of that in there to get him to crunch a little bit, but it would be unintentional. His legs can go, wow. He can go pretty much the Johnny Cage. He can go pretty far up and pretty far back. I'd say that gets him into the Ministry of Silly Walks. His knees, a little tiny bit past 90 degrees. There's a lot of leg kibble. All these panels want to unpop and move around. So once you find the sweet spot for those, good luck keeping it. They like to move around. His feet do have a ball joint in there, I saw, and it's a bit of a rocker, but it's limited by what's around it. Like, you can get it a little more out to that side, but not so much this side before you start hitting parts, but it's a little bit of a rocker. And there's more back and forward. Wow, there's a hinge too. You could go really far forward. Yeah, you can see that ball joint in there. There's a little bit more of a rock to it. So you got to play around with the joints a bit, but you'll manage it. And for his accessory, it just slots into his hand. It covers his arm and his hand, and it makes him look like he has a blaster, so he can blast away there. So, did I say if he has a thigh swivel? Might have left the thigh swivel out. Oh, it's... Nope. There is a bit of a thigh swivel. It's, yeah, actually, you can get it. You might pop the joint initially like I did, but it's in there. It's just difficult to get. And boy, these leg panels are all over the place. So for size comparisons, here he is with the Origin Bumblebee. And another guy with the same color scheme. That is a comic book brown suit Wolverine from Metacom Toy, Mafex. So you see he's a good bit lower than a 6-inch figure there. So let's get him transformed and see what's happening there. All right, and here we have Buzzworthy Bumblebee in his Cybertronian alt mode. And I mean, it should look familiar. They did this with the masked head and a different color. I believe it was all bare plastic. I don't think it was painted up here. They did it with Cliff Jumper, as we discussed. It's kind of I think it's based off of the off-road Bumblebee, the Jeep mode Bumblebee from Earth, which I did own, but then I didn't hold on to that one either. But in terms of this, some of this, these panels up front, very hard to get together because of the paint. It seems like the paint tolerances are either, if any of those figures before were painted, these are painted, they ran into the same issues, and this is no different, or this is new paint, it's a little thicker, and it's causing some of the panels not to fit together perfectly well, but not bad. And as you can see, he rolls. I do like the Cybertronian modes. That is the Origin Bumblebee in his G1 Episode 1 appearance, where we saw very few Cybertronian modes. Still a wonder that this figure even got made, but it was neat. I like the transformation on this more than this. This is some of the hinges. Stuff will pop off, but it's okay. This, I feel like some things would break. This, I feel like it's bendy and gummy enough that it has give to it, but in the end it holds together very well and doesn't look bad at all. So if that's what we have to do to get a Cybertronian version of G1 Bumblebee, I'll take it. And they should do a wheeljack. Where's our wheeljack? Come on, guys. They're probably holding out for that, but there he is with that, and here is a quick size comparison with our masked man here. And a Matchbox car. And I think let's bring in the Winter Soldier here real quick, because I have him out from a previous review. So yeah, you can see he becomes quite a squat car here, but not too bad actually. He'll go in bot mode. I don't need him in car mode, but they did do the Cybertronian mode, so good on you, Hasbro. So, final thoughts on Bumblebee. Really what happens here is what plagues a lot of Studio Series figures. Big backpack, panels on the legs, not so much the arms this time, thank God, but panels on the legs. You can even see here in the turnaround that they've just come unpegged on the one leg, and they just swivel around all over the place. They're not great. It's not a great feeling when you have to pose this figure. There's not... the legs really are trouble. He looks great. I mean, I love the color. I love the unmasked head, and the paint on him is pretty nice. And the presentation overall is good, but I don't like posing him, which, as an action figure, that should be one of the top draws of it, is that you kind of want to have fun with it. Really a mixed bag here. I do like that they gave us one with the unmasked head, the better paint job. He looks nice. As a re-release of the original figure, is he worth getting? If you don't have him, but if you have that version already, unless you really want this unmasked head or this slightly different paint job, I'd skip it. So yeah, that's it. I don't have really high marks for him, but I don't hate it either. So if you liked any part of this review or like anything on my channel, please give a subscribe, give me a like. I know that's in a different order. Usually it's like, then subscribe, but leave a comment down below. Do you care for the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line? Is it tough for you to get because you don't have a Target near you, and ordering it online is kind of a fiasco? It tends to be the case nowadays with a lot of online orders through Walmart and Target. But either way, from B-127 here and me, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you next time.